Welcome, everybody. We are 22S Radio, the next wave of K-Beach. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ, HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back, everyone. It's your show, Talking with Spencer. Back at it again with another great interview today. I have two wonderful guests with me from the band Hooray For Our Side.
That's us.
Hi, Ian.
Hey.
Joe, how are you?
Good. How about you?
Awesome.
How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
So you guys are currently a ska band, correct?
Unfortunately.
Why do you say that?
No reason. It's just fun. It's good to make fun of it. Everyone makes fun of it, you know.
Ska's dead.
Mm-hmm. So what for our audience? Because I'm pretty sure, and I can guarantee you that I have an audience that does not know what ska is.
That's okay.
To the best of your ability, could you please explain that for them?
The best I can say is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. That song, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, Superman by Goldfinger. Everyone knows Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, that, I don't know.
I would also go so far as to say that it's pretty much faster reggae. Like, if you imagine the reggae beat and then speed it up. And in our case, I guess we would get lumped more in there's like multiple waves of ska, and we would be somewhere in the third wave. Is there even a fourth wave? I don't know.
Streetlight Manifesto has a song called Riding the Fourth Wave, but they also don't like to be called ska.
Oh, well, that's just
So
confusing.
would third wave be like the latest edition of ska? Would you say?
So there was history time. There was the first wave ska was like Jamaican dancehall music. It was like a fusion of, God, I hope I don't sound like a dummy. It was like a fusion of like calypso music and American music, and it was this cool dance stuff, you know, like Prince Albert and a bunch of people. The second wave was like the Specials and Madness and all these British bands doing their thing, and the third wave is like Real Big Fish and Goldfinger and Suburban Legends and all these other guys from Orange County and stuff.
Do you listen to dancehall music?
Yeah.
Like a normal? What do you listen to when it comes to dancehall?
Like old ska music, not like
Toots
Toots
and the Maytals.
yeah, like
Yeah, like I remember I had a girlfriend a couple years ago, and she was Jamaican, and she would show me like all this dancehall stuff, and it was like something I would never expect someone to like.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, I think like was it more like the modern dancehall? Like,
what defines modern in dancehall music?
I don't know. I feel like modern Jamaican dancehall is like more like electronic, like beats, like upper beat dancing.
Here's what I'll say. It was more upbeat, yeah. But I remember she showed me like videos of like people like doing the weirdest stuff.
Oh,
and, like,
yep.
Yeah,
I've seen those dances.
Yeah, like they're like twerking on the ground. It just looks like a giant like sweat fest,
wow.
and like.
Sweat
Are those
Fest
the
is
ones
good,
where
so.
the guy, like the girl, will be like laying down, the guy like jumps?
Yeah,
like,
and it's just
like off
50
the
feet in the
table?
air. It looks like WWE. Yeah, and so it was like that. It was wild.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, in terms of artists, like Mr. Vegas,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Sean Paul.
Nope.
Oh yeah,
Sean Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean Paul is probably like the most relevant person I know in that genre. I couldn't tell you anything else about it.
Yeah, I actually had like a guilty pleasure. There's a newer song that Idris Elba raps on.
What?
I don't know if you've heard
Wait,
that.
what?
Yeah, it's I can't
Charles
think.
Minor?
No,
Charles
the main guy is Wiley, and he's like a UK rapper. But then it also has Sean Paul, and it's very like Jamaican.
Is it
and
good?
It's all right.
Does he like?
I called it a guilty pleasure for a reason.
Tries to walk through the thing where the Roadrunner goes to, or
Oh,
does
no,
this have anything
no.
to do with coyotes?
No,
I'm not interested.
So is there a reason why you guys chose? Well, let me first ask this question first. How did you guys meet to form this band originally?
We are
Yeah.
not original members.
So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Okay.
and this is the
Yeah.
case with a lot of ska bands that
lot.
I know of, and that I've just been in also. But this band has been around since
2010.
2010, and at the time it was the current singer, and then a bunch of other people that aren't in the band anymore.
Yeah.
So pretty much
Okay,
from there,
yeah.
it's been like
So it's been like a rotation of
Yeah.
some sort.
Right now we have 6 members, and that's like unsustainable over periods of time longer than like a year. You know, it's people come in and out. It's kind of a
There's a lot of people for
Revolving
one
doors.
group too.
that too,
Yeah.
and sometimes we have 7 and stuff. You know,
Yeah, well, we want to get 7.
We'd like to get trumpet players. Hit us up. Oh, you play trumpet, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, come
Join our
band.
Is there a reason why ska? Is this something you guys have a common interest in?
I actually am a fan. I go out to the shows and I dress in dumb stuff and I go out and listen and stuff. I just went back to the beach. That sucked because I guess festivals are terrible.
Yeah, it depends on your personality.
Yeah,
I think.
Ska festivals?
Never go.
Just festivals in
just
general.
Festivals like there was like 20,000 people in like a square mile. Not cool.
But for other people, that's like the best thing in the world.
Some people love that.
Yeah, for someone who goes to festivals often, I say it's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm. No, you go to festivals?
Not a lot, but every once in a while, like Flogna.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Camp Flogna with Tyler the Creator. I want to go to Rolling Loud this year, but there's some suspicious things happening.
Oh man, yeah, a bunch of people there was like gunshots, and then
some people got arrested. Like a basketball player got sent to jail. Like, it was different. Like I don't know if I want to go there anymore.
It was in Miami, right?
Yeah, it's one in Miami and there's one in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's rough. You gotta, I don't know. It's the thing. You put that many people in one spot.
Yeah, so something's bound to go down south.
But it's okay.
So, I'll start with you, Ian.
Yeah.
You play piano, correct?
Yeah, my digs is like playing jazz piano.
Okay.
So they put an ad on their Facebook that said, hey, we're looking for a trumpet player. And I messaged them, and I was like, I play saxophone and piano. And they were like, well, that's something. So
wait, before you continue, what type of saxophone?
I play the Barry sax.
Barry sax?
I have a tenor also that I don't get to play nearly as much. But in
Really?
this band, I play Barry, yes. It's the cool one.
It's meaty.
Yeah.
That's the man saxophone,
That's
if you don't know.
It's heavy, I forgot a neck strap one time. This guy lost it because I'm stupid. And for the first, 2 songs, I was just holding it up with my hands, and it really sucked.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's not
a big one.
It's not a toy.
No.
In any sense of the word.
But, and then I showed up, and I didn't even know I was really in it. I just kind of started, I showed up to 2 practices, and they were like, okay, practice again next week. And
we're not good communicators.
It was not good communication. That's okay. It worked out okay, I think.
So you went from saxophone to piano, or did you start on piano with the saxophone?
I started taking piano lessons when I was 4, and
Really?
then till 12, and they teach you out of these awful books teaching you how to play hot cross buns and terrible
I remember
things for
hot cross
kids,
buns. Yeah.
So I played drums in middle school and high school because drums are cool, No. And then eventually I was like, taking drums everywhere sucks, but most places already have a piano there. So started playing piano again when I was 17, got into it more. Same time about I played saxophone, or started to learn, I guess.
So you started in the school of the greatest school of all, School of Jazz.
Oh, thank God, yes.
So who would you say you looked up to when you were an aspiring musician during your young award years?
My jazz teacher in high school was a big old Ellington head, and then that made me an Ellington head as well, which is he's the coolest. The harmonic stuff that he does is just ridiculous, stuff that you wouldn't think of.
Yeah, and he influenced jazz
Yeah.
in a way beyond the studio, which is something I can really respect him for. Definitely bridging the gap between white and black audiences.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In the South, making a more tolerable face that people could recognize.
Yeah.
And more so, he has a giant discography, huge.
He's bigger than anyone else.
Yeah.
I think he's credited with
thousands of songs.
Yeah,
right?
he's got the most compositions under his belt, more than anyone else.
Yeah.
The next is Thelonious Monk with 60 or something.
I was looking him up. That's the funniest part, because so I was looking him up because his birthday just passed not too long ago.
May 24th, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and he what's it called? It turns out he made his first piece when he was 15 years old.
Soda Fountain Rag, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like a 15-year-old theme.
It's just and it's it's not just a piano piece. It's a big band suite.
Yeah.
And it's just whoa, relax. like when I was 15 years old and I thought about composing music, I made a song called "The Angel's Wings," and we had to present it for like our 7th grade band project. And the way we presented it is we had to play it in the band room in front of all the students.
Oh man.
Yeah, and long story short, I got a D on that project. So I was like, maybe this thing isn't for me. But come on, 15 years old, and you're making Ellington Suites. That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
And the sad thing is that it's lost. Like, we can't find it, like a physical copy of it. So we was only...
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So that's one thing.
I mean, those guys would treat their, it's to them it's just papers, right? And it's not a big deal or anything. But I went to the Smithsonian American History Museum
in D.C.
In D.C., yeah, a few years ago, and it was like there was a bandstand, like one of the things in front of the sax players, from the Ellington band, and a handwritten piece of music, "Sophisticated Lady," handwritten by Ellington for the Barry player Harry Carney. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And it's like, it was just a piece of paper for them. He just wrote it down really quick,
Yeah, it just seems like maybe for him it was just, I'm doing what I gotta do. I don't think he probably knew when he wrote that down how much of an impact it would have on the future music.
Yeah, a lot of those songs, I think Mood Indigo was written like 20 minutes before a session.
Really?
And then they just gave it to the players, and they were like, we're playing this.
Yeah, there was one, who was it? Did Dizzy play with him?
He has.
Yeah, I think he...
or he had.
Yeah. There was some story about Duke writing out a song like on the bottom of a trash can before a show.
It happens all the time, It's nothing for them.
I must say my favorite Duke Ellington moment probably had to be, if you see the recording of him playing C Jam Blues, it's hilarious.
Oh, the super old movie?
Yeah.
Where the ladies come out at the end?
No, not that one. It's just like him just playing CJ Blues like in a trio. And it's him, I don't know the bass player, but the bass player is important in the story. So he's playing, you know how the song is in 4, right?
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom. Yeah. So there's a point in the song where the bass player goes from 4 to a 3 fill. And so you see Duke like pretty much stop playing and just give the bass player like a dirty ass look, like.
That's amazing.
And then you could hear it switch back to 4, and it's just something like it's not explicitly there, but you just notice it. Yeah,
That's
He's
hilarious.
got the looks.
yeah. He just has that.
But you get the feeling for some of those things. Like I saw a Bill Evans video once where it was him with the trio, and they just filmed him on a set playing a bunch of tunes. And before they started playing, there was he had just met the drummer, like that day or whatever. It was like just going over the tunes with him right there, and you would never know. But you get the impression with a lot of those videos, like those guys, they're just coming in playing it off the head.
Yeah, sometimes you can tell, and that's kind of the reason why there's the same video concept of Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock, where the same thing happens, and Miles Davis is just like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like getting pissed off at him.
Miles was a bit more of a...
Yeah, he was a different individual.
Yeah.
One might say.
I don't like him.
Oh, I'm a fan.
I am not.
I'm a big fan. Come on, I'm a trumpet player. So
yeah, I get that, but I don't know, man. Anyone can put a harmon in their trumpet and turn their back to the audience, right?
But just the going through the albums and each, Birth of the Cool to
my least favorite one.
Bitches Brew, or no,
Bitches Brew.
Yeah.
Just that's a huge gap of iconic music for a whole subgenre of jazz. It's
Yeah,
so
and
insane.
just outside of that, he was just a badass. He was just
He would
a badass.
do some stuff, yeah.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he would definitely do some stuff that I cannot say on the radio.
Yeah,
but
for
yeah,
sure,
but he was just a badass.
Yeah, he was... I didn't watch that movie with Don Cheadle.
It's not good.
Oh, no?
It's not good. It's a waste of time.
Is it better or worse than Miles Davis's music?
worse. By
So
far.
for Ian, that's like
It's like okay.
All
So
that far.
have you guys seen La La Land?
no, I haven't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's better than La La Land,
Oh, wow.
but not by much. That's
Yeah.
not something like you would want people to say about your film. Like at least it was better than La La Land. Like
That movie was ridiculous.
yeah, it definitely showed how people want to.
Want to think about Hollywood?
Yeah, they want to whitewash jazz in their own like
Yeah.
special little like pop figure. Like
I heard there wasn't even a lot of music in that movie. Is that true?
There wasn't a ton.
Yeah,
Weird.
they focus more on the story and like
Yeah.
just like the
It's really a love story about Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone and how artists can't be together but they can still help each other. Dude.
yeah. Definitely, jazz doesn't have a good repertoire in film. I don't believe.
You know, maybe it used to, like
Yeah,
way back
yeah.
in the day. But have you seen Some Like It Hot?
I have not.
That's a great movie. It was one of the first like cross-dressing buddy comedies
Really?
Yeah, with Marilyn Monroe.
with Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe. Other two
I
actors.
don't know.
their
It's been a
names.
lot.
Jack Lemmon and someone else. I don't know. But these guys are like on the run from the mob, and they're like, well, the only job we can get playing in a band, there's a sax player and a bass player. The only job we can get playing in a band is in this all-girl band. So we have to go cross-dress and go to Florida to escape the mob. And then like the mob shows up in Florida. It's just wacky and zany.
That
Good
sounds
movie.
wacky.
And it's got some decent jazz in it too. You know?
You don't get that. Don't get that every once in a while.
Yeah.
The only movie I'd say, and this is just, I'm probably gonna get hate for this. I always say that, but the movie Whiplash.
I like the movie
It
Whiplash.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool because it was like finally like someone who knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The plot, that's up to your own
Yeah.
description.
Yeah.
Well, whether or not it was a happy ending, I think is
What do you think about?
like I don't know if it's a happy ending or not. Just the fact that he
Yeah.
goes, you know,
Okay,
he
well,
goes through all this trauma.
Let me explain like the ending of Whiplash. So yeah, because there are people who have probably not seen the movie. Spoiler alert: it's been 5 years since the movie has came out. If you haven't seen it by now, I don't really care.
That's your fault. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your fault.
We'll be
So
talking
basi-
about Endgame next. Don't worry.
So basically, Whiplash ends. It's about a kid and who goes to this conservatory music school, and he plays drums. And he has this asshole music teacher who physically abuses him, mentally abuses him, and psychologically abuses him.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes, and
Which was a Spider-Man.
essentially, the entire story is how the kid abandons everything else in his life just to pursue jazz drumming, and he breaks up with his girlfriend.
That's really to impress his teacher, you know?
Yeah, just to impress his teacher.
Mhm.
And eventually, he gets kicked out, and he comes back, and then with a solo that surprises teacher, and the teacher.
Yeah. Well, the whole
Accepts him.
the
Yeah.
crux of
Yeah.
the movie where he's like, he's trying to get to like this big final performance basically, and he gets in a horrible car accident on
Yeah.
the way, and
Hence the term
He's-
whiplash.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even actually think about that.
Yeah, I haven't.
I went way over your head.
and then he makes it to the end of the episode. I mean, to the end of the
Episode, yes.
like to the beginning of the performance, like just in time, and he's all like wrecked
And then bloody and
Yeah.
still going at the drums.
Yeah.
And then he busts a drum solo, like while his like when he's not supposed to. Like it's the song is over,
Yeah.
and you know it's like for some like it's for a competition of some kind.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
They hate that.
yeah.
Yeah. If you're in band, don't do that
Yeah.
because you will lose.
Don't just be pulling
Yeah.
out drum solos.
Yeah. I will say more than anything, like the one thing you can't take away from that movie is what's the actor's name?
Miles Teller.
No, J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson.
But what's the actor's
He needs
name?
pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Commissioner Gordon.
That's the kind of performance that's like super fun to watch. Like someone just like
Oh, the
Yeah.
drummer?
no, the teacher.
Or the teacher, yeah.
It was
Just-
I think it was a really good movie, but it was like a pretty inaccurate representation of like how that stuff is.
What, like band class
Yeah.
type?
I mean, I've never taken like super top level college
Mm-hmm.
jazz things, but like,
I have.
Yeah. As an audience member, it seems like the
is it
idea
like
that,
that?
Okay, here's what I'll say. So, I'll say that. Well, my high school teacher, yeah, he was very strict. He was very strict with the way music is taught, and specifically marching band, because he was a very big marching band guy.
Gross. Yeah, I did some marching band.
I did 5 years.
Ouch.
You did marching band for 5 years?
Yeah, they were like my 8th grade year because my older sister was in it. They were like, we need people to play drums, and I was like, I'll do it.
Oh, were you in
I'm a dumb idiot.
Were you in pit or were you in?
I was on the drum line.
You were in the drum line.
Yeah.
What'd you play?
I played bass drum my 8th grade year,
Mhm.
and then I played tenors my freshman and sophomore, and then I played snare my junior and senior.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's terrible.
That's cool.
Nope. No, it's not. By the end of it, I was like, man, I wish I did track.
Yeah. So I don't know much. So high school is kind of. If there's any part of my musical foundation that's intact, it was built during those high school years.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can understand why it was so strict. In college, they say, here's the part. Go home, shut it out. Come back tomorrow. It better be clean.
Yeah.
If it's not, you're out.
Damn.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
In high school, they're willing to work with you. In college, they're not.
Yeah, then that sounds like it's fairly accurate. But
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
But his class was like the class.
He was
Yeah.
hitting people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't hit people in real life. At least I don't hope so.
Ah.
At least I've never experienced it.
No, get
Yeah.
him.
So we got to
Rushing
take a
or
quick
dragging?
break, guys.
Oh, sure.
Sweet.
Unfortunately, and we will be back with the rest of the programming.
Cool. Breaks.
We are 22S Radio, the next wave of K-Beach. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back, everyone, to the program. I'm your host, TalkingWithSpencer, and I am back with two members of the infamous ska band, Hooray For Our Side. And I wanted to ask you guys, just had a break. You guys just performed at the House of Blues in Anaheim, correct?
We did. We just had
Yes.
our EP release at the House of Blues.
The parish room, not the big room. So I don't know. There's probably like 300 something kids there.
Yeah. It's a 400 capacity room, and we weren't sold out, but it looked a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
How did you get that gig? Is it just like a first come first serve or what happened?
There's
We work with the promoter,
yeah. Pocket
the
Entertainment.
Pocket Entertainment. They put on a lot of the shows in the scene that we play in.
Yeah.
So the main guy Cam that we work with, we basically set up the show with him because he's been such a useful ally for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight knit community. Everyone's trying to help everyone else.
Yeah, I feel like if you have a community that's more niche,
Yeah.
then they're willing to help each other out.
Exactly.
If
Like
it's more broad, and it's going to be harder to get people to.
there's only like
find
a
common
handful of
cause.
bands, anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we all got to stick together.
Yeah.
Just put on shows together.
So I was talking to Ian about his influences and his arrival. Now I want to get to Joe.
Okay.
So you played guitar for how long?
Oh God. Now I'm going on 13 years.
13 years.
Rock and roll.
And it's a long time.
Yeah.
So what made you want to play guitar to begin with?
Actually, my aunt at one point had given me like a very old classical guitar that she had, and my folks were basically they're the kind of people that are like, I played every single sport, and I had to be doing something all the time. So that was one of the things they were like, "Hey, do you want to try and play guitar?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure," and loved it ever since.
Did you do any like formal education with guitar? Like, did you take any lessons?
Yeah, I took lessons for a while now. I think it was 7 years or something like that. I had the same private teacher. Like it was group classes at first, and then I went into private lessons. I think when I got through all the group levels.
And were you in jazz band at all?
I was, but it was very. I went to St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, and their jazz band, air quotes, we played at the basketball games, and we played like.
So you played like at like pep rally type stuff, like just
it
to hype the
wasn't-
crowd
We didn't
up.
play jazz, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Unfortunately, I know too many schools like that. Like, it kind of robs the students of what a valuable education they could get out of jazz music.
They they do better than a lot of the private schools did, I thought.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
there's a lot of
Well, that's
private schools
good.
that won't even do it, but at least they had
The
like
devil's
a
music.
pit for the various games. We played
Okay.
football games.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but
But
Yeah,
no
unfortunately-
actual jazz.
unfortunately,
which is
yeah,
bummer.
there is like a common thing because I'll go to like jazz festivals and I'll see like high school bands play, and
Yeah.
it's so sad because like you'll see like, well, let me just explain like what the jazz band setup is, and I'm going to show you what's wrong, what they do, what's wrong with that picture.
I'm ready.
So, a jazz band setup has 4, maybe 5 trumpets, 4, maybe 5 trombones. 5 is kind of pushing it, and then 5
That's loud.
saxophones, 2 tenors, 2 altos, and then the baritone saxophone. I'll see more often than not. Like one time, I saw a band with 7 trumpets.
Right.
Yeah,
That's just so
And
much
it's just
sound.
Like, yeah, like you don't need to be that loud. And 2, like it's just that's a good way to get your intonation just out the window.
Yeah.
And
That's,
I'll just see people like I even talk to these like band leaders or the professors or teachers, and I'll ask them in like the nicest way possible because you don't want to like discredit them. Like, hey, is there a reason why you use double trumpets and for each part? And then one of them will be like, I like the way I like to double my leads, which is like the worst thing you could
Yeah,
do because
right.
the lead is what carries the sound, especially lead trumpet, of the entire jazz ensemble.
To have 2 people trying to do it
Yeah, at the same
together,
time
yeah.
in such a high register.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare waiting to happen.
That's why you have 2 captains on a ship.
Yeah, well, I think with the high school thing too, like what I experienced when I went into playing band there, the other part of it was, we went to the first day of band class, and he was like, how many people here play guitar? And like
Like half.
75% of the class raised their hand. It was like, okay, so like,
Half you were
yeah,
drummers.
no, every single one of you pretty much has to learn a different instrument now.
Really? Wow.
Like, but that was the way that system worked. They were just,
Something about me, I kind of regret not playing an instrument where I could play chords on. Because I feel like
It's never too late to learn piano.
that is true. And I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Because
Hit me up. I'll show you some stuff.
I will. Because I've been looking at, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube. That's where everything starts, videos on YouTube.
oh,
The
100%.
University of YouTube. Hell yeah.
Exactly. I watched this guy basically give like a tutorial on how to make advanced jazz progressions. And it was basically a 2-5-1 chord progression, starting with the second above the root,
Yeah.
going from a 5 going to a 1,
Yeah.
and then in between those intervals. And I'm like, this shit sounds sexy as hell. Like, I really want to learn how to play that. Like, just imagine this incorporating that in. It doesn't have to be jazz, just anything.
yeah.
And it will make you sound a lot more mature than whatever you played. Right now, I can play 1 note at a time. What fun is that?
That's what I always say about saxophone. Like, as much I'm not a saxophone player. I play piano.
Mhm.
But as much as I suck at saxophone, I only ever got to play 1 note at a time. It's no big deal, right? Piano, I got 10 fingers.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
many
You
it.
chances to
you have
mess up.
potential in between those hands.
Yeah, a lot of potential to mess up.
Yeah, piano is definitely like the best instrument. Just
Yeah.
in terms of like
Everything.
composing. At
It
least.
works. It works in
Best.
every situation.
I should have brought a piano.
right.
Shoot.
Your little mini one.
I don't know why I thought
terrible.
there was a piano in here. Well, I guess not. There's not. Yeah, don't look around.
I will say, if you're thinking about learning an instrument with chords, the one plus to guitar is that you learn.
Babes.
Well, babes, 1. Number 2,
Like,
no, babes. You learn the shapes. Like you learn the shape of a chord, and then you like say you learn like a G7. Once you know that shape, all you need to do is move the root, and it's always the same shape for every 7 chord on like of a specific voicing.
Yeah.
Just in terms of ease of
so that it'd
learning.
be an easier way to learn, like,
Basically.
roots and chords.
Yeah, instead of the shapes for piano.
Yeah,
So
that sounds about right.
The shapes for pianos. So like, let's say you're gonna play a
You have to
13.
think about it a different way.
Yeah. Let's say you're gonna play a 13 chord in C. So you play like a C with your left hand, and then like a B flat, E, and then A. So it's like if you want to move that up, it's gonna look different because the white keys and black keys go against each other. So if you want to move it up a half step, it's gonna be like that now, and then you're gonna go back, and then go back, and
Right.
just a lot of
With guitar,
flip-flopping.
all of those chords could just be this. You just move your finger.
Yeah, I was literally up like, because I took a music class at Cal Poly when I went there, and we didn't have keyboards, and it was a keyboard class.
I'm confused.
But yeah, so what they had was like basically a piece of paper, like just a piece of paper like this, and it had basically a scale, like on the keyboard, and we just
Oh man.
like that.
But how
And
do
I'm
you
like,
know, I
how
bet
do
that
I
was a
know if I'm
conscious
doing it
decision.
right? Yeah.
The teacher was like, "F this."
Yeah, so I didn't know if I was doing it right. So actually last night I was up till like 2 a.m. just thinking about chords
Yeah,
and my favorite thing to do. And
I do that.
I watched I looked up like how to play piano for like beginners.
Yeah,
And it was basically that was the problem that they addressed. Like your fingers are not going to feel comfortable in every single position, especially when you get to the more advanced positions.
yeah,
Like when you play like 13ths and
yeah. Just some wide stuff. A lot of
yeah.
You have to it's like
Piano
literally
fingers.
stretching as far as you can for a lot of them. I'm lucky enough to have these mitts, but I know people who are not as tall as me and don't have as big of hands, and they struggle to reach some stuff. Losers.
It kind of makes me more impressed with like people who are like little ass kids who could like play like the
I hate
greatest.
kids.
Joey
Yeah.
Alexander, you know Joey.
Don't even
Alexander?
talk to me about Joey Alexander.
If you want to see some crazy shit,
Who's
look
Joey Alexander?
He's just this like virtuoso.
This child.
Yeah, he's like 10 years old, and he just absolutely destroys.
Yeah, I hate-
jazz
Reds.
Yeah, I hate little kids who are like, for lack of a better term, better than me.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel bad.
What are,
Like,
you, what are you doing being better than me? You're 8
Yeah.
years old,
yeah, like,
Sit down, kid.
yeah, go back to reading.
Well, it just
reading.
makes you wish, like, for sure, like, I learned and practiced guitar, but, like I could have been so much more dedicated when I
well.
was a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, why didn't my parents start me when I was, like, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of resent, like, I don't want to say your childhood, but, like, you kind of resent, like, man, was it really worth it, like, going to the middle school dance when I could have been practicing or something like that?
No
Right.
middle school dance was ever worth it.
At the time, it was, like, the biggest thing
What are you doing? Like
in the world. Like, it
having
was, like,
soda and eating Starburst with your friends while Soulja Boy plays really loud.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awful.
oh, my gosh. But it was, at that time of our lives, it was, like,
That was pretty cool. I
it was
guess.
like the Met Gala for us.
Yeah.
While we were wearing, Osiris shoes and
Oh, God.
cargo shorts.
I always
And-
wore the big puffy Vans. I was a big puffy Vans
I was
guy.
a Chuck Taylor kid, Got to be Chucks.
Those
I
are the
was a-
coolest kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a Converse kid.
Yeah.
Converse kid, but I could afford them back in
Yeah.
the day.
Other times you can't.
Yeah,
right?
not so much.
Oh man. Yeah. $60 for a pair of like thin canvas shoes.
That like absolutely destroy your back. if
Yeah,
you-
they're not good. I wear them. I wear them for like deadlifting now, but that's the only time I put on my Converse.
ridiculous.
It's terrible.
Oh, because you need a like flat feet is good for.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flat surfaces.
Okay, Joe. So we talked about. Yeah, that kind of went for a way different direction, but I wanted to. But hey, that's totally okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So, Joe, I talked to Ian about his influences growing up. So, did you have any influences in guitar that you listened to?
When I first started playing, my dad had always been into like the classic rock stuff.
Dad
and,
rock.
like 80s punk. Yeah, dad rock.
Like
they
dad
call
rock.
it. But I mean, I still love it. And back when I was learning, like it was all Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin. Lots of Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin, basically. I'd say those are the two main bands. And then from there, it was kind of a progression of just kind of like the next person that I knew that had music was my cousin. So he had like Sublime and Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that. And I'll actually never forget, he lived with my grandma, and I went over to her house one time, and I had like my dad's old portable CD player. And for whatever reason, I remember the CD that I had was the Stuart Little soundtrack.
Wow.
It was
That is.
yeah. But
interesting.
Tell me some
But-
tracks. What was on that?
I don't even know. I don't even. Yeah, but then I got what's Evil Empire by Rage Against the Machine. He had that, and I put it in, and that was like going to the next level, basically. Like, oh shit! Like, there's other music out there
Besides Stuart Little.
Besides what's in my dad's closet, basically.
Yeah, it's funny how, well, at least I could relate to that experience too, because I remember when I was a kid, like, all I would listen to was just like the things I heard in like movies,
Right.
and, like in video games, and that's honestly that's a lot of our first experiences with music.
100%.
Like, if you found like my old like PSP, like it would have like songs like Prince of Egypt's soundtrack, the Lion
man.
King soundtrack, like Metal Gear Solid soundtrack, just weird stuff like that. And it would just be like, there's actually music out there that's not from a video game,
Yeah,
or that's
like
not
music
from a movie.
for like its own sake.
Yeah, like what?
is this?
That is a concept.
That's wild.
Someone needs to get on that.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
Music
yeah,
just
and then,
for music.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and basically from that point on, it was just like like listening a lot to the radio and getting stuff from friends at school. Kind of, especially going to high school, because like I
Yeah.
went to elementary school, like very small environment, like, and a lot of people aren't even that into music. It feels like high school is the time when everyone really starts getting into their own.
Yeah. Like I said before, like that's when your developmental like form. Not to say that you're gonna be high school is your final form. Of course not. But that's when like
Thank God.
yeah, thank God, thank God. But yeah, that's where it sends you on your path essentially,
Yeah,
in one way or another.
Yeah. Man, I was listening to too much weird stuff in high schoul.
I feel like we all were.
Yeah.
What were you listening to in high school?
A lot of Mr. Bungle. That band's awesome. Frank Zappa. Pretty much anything with Mike Patton.
Yeah, that
actually.
sounds about right for the,
Yeah.
the like high school music nerd.
Yeah. How weird can we push it?
Yeah.
I listened to Rush in high school. I still listen to Rush. I love
Like
Rush.
Todd Glass or whatever.
Gross.
Like,
No.
cool though. I got big on, and I still love them, the Mars Volta.
Sure, yeah.
When I was in high school, like someone told me about At the Drive-In and Mars Volta, and I think Radiohead, and those have been like consistently been my favorite bands since then.
I listened to a lot of ambient music in high school.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Like, just
and
like...
it's like sound, and people are just like I'll be with like some friends in the whip, was driving somewhere, and then I'll be like, oh, take the aux, and I'll play like whale sounds,
Right.
in the choir. And they'll be like, what the fuck
Just
is
like
this?
soft
Yeah.
synths going.
Like, how do I respond to this? But hey,
Just do it.
I had to do it. I had to do it.
You gave
Yeah.
me the control.
You gave me the control.
That was
That
on
was
you,
your
man.
that was your
You
that
should've
was your
done that.
responsibility. So I can't do anything after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta take another quick break.
Sure.
Then we get back to the rest of the programming. We are 22S Radio, the next wave of K Beach. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3. Welcome back, guys. I'm your host, TalkingWithSpencer, with two of my guests here from the infamous ska band, Hooray For Our Side.
That's us.
How you guys doing? It's about to wrap up the program. We got
Oh,
about maybe
okay.
15 minutes left.
Oh, wait. Well, here,
Yeah.
we brought you a thing.
You did.
Yeah.
I
We're
don't know what's
definitely-
about to
yeah.
happen, so if something happens,
Right. It's a T-shirt.
really?
Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah, we just put out the new album. It's called Everybody Love Everybody.
This is the
from-
coolest thing.
The artwork.
Wow.
is-
Oh, you got a CD for me, too?
Yeah. This is
Oh
the
my
CD of the thing.
gosh.
Check it out. Look for Man Rat hitting the shelf
Yo.
soon.
Guys, look at this. This
That-
is so cool.
That artwork was done by Kelly Nguyen. Hit her up for artwork needs.
It's a fresh shirt, too, I can tell.
It's got
Yeah, they
that
came
silk
in
screen.
hot. On,
Yeah,
like,
I like
Friday.
Yeah, I like the
Those were printed like the day of the show.
I like the design. It sends such like a polar message.
Yeah.
Like it's an atomic bomb with the heart,
Well, here, check out.
and surrounding the atomic bomb with the heart is a
Right. So
wow.
it's funny because
Look at that.
basically the concept of the record was like we were having a fight and Ian yelled "Everybody love everybody,"
like from
and
Semi
then someone it was from Semi Pro, and we were like, and then at some point we were trying to decide the title of the album. We were like, oh, that should be the title, and we wanted to abbreviate it to ELE, and that is an abbreviation for extinction level event.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, well, there's two, like, that's artsy, like two
Yeah, that's-
incongruous
yeah.
That's
things.
smart.
Like,
Yeah.
Check out the back cover. That's our Moses rat, preaching.
What the? This is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like.
Hopefully the music isn't so terrible too.
No. For some reason, I like dark stuff like this.
It's funny.
Yeah. It's just. It appeals to me.
I'm glad we got it. We got it to be cartoony
Yeah.
enough.
Thank you guys.
There's some relatively serious subject matter.
yeah, on the record
On the-
itself.
on the actual
yeah,
record.
Is
a
it
little,
political in any sense at all?
I guess yeah, there's a
two of
couple
them are.
songs that are pretty
That's-
political.
Very political.
That's
Two
it,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe pointed to a certain degree. There's
Yeah.
mention of like red hats.
Is this-
at least in one song?
Is this
Philistines.
bumpable? Like, could I bump this with like my buddies around?
100%. Yeah.
I'ma
That's
do
some-
it.
That's some
I'ma
party
do
music.
it.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are ready. So I'm definitely bumping this in the whip next time I come home.
Yeah, man. I wish. My CD player has been,
Yeah.
my CD player in my car has been broken. I've had the greatest hits of Jackson 5 stuck in there for like 5 years.
There's
I
nothing
still
wrong
have-
with that.
There's
Nothing wrong
this
with
guy at this restaurant I went to, and because in order to get people on the show, I often go to like bars
Smart.
and like like open mic bars, see people play. There's this guy giving out free CDs, and I took it, and it's like this jazz record, but it wasn't like jazz as we know it. It was like Kenny G type jazz, and it was like, yeah, kind of whatever. And he gave me this CD, and I'm like, okay, I listened to it. I put it in the CD player. Then I got in a car accident.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I'm fine, but
cursed.
but now it's stuck in there.
No.
And I can't get it out. I think that was actually worse than the car accident in of itself. Because now I can't get it out. And whenever my aux doesn't work, like, I'm not listening to the radio. Like, what do I look like? A heathen?
I
So,
listen to the radio.
heathen.
We were listening all the way here and discussing how much it sucks.
How terrible it all is,
If I
yeah.
were to listen to the radio, it'd only be 88.1 FM, KKJZ.
Okay, not even a plug for the thing. I listen to K-Jazz like a lot. I listen to shit.
Yeah,
yeah, it's,
yeah.
it's on my
They
rotation.
got some good stuff.
Yeah,
on
exactly. A lot of people, well, it's a common misconception that this is K-Jazz.
there. No.
This is the satellite station
Yeah.
for K-Jazz. So K-Jazz is actually off in Santa Monica off of Beverly. That's the main location. This is just our like satellite point. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I wish it was, because that would be really cool. Yeah.
Get on there.
Yeah.
I dig it. Playing jazz
mean-
jazz on the radio. That's cool.
Yeah, I like their early morning weekend shows where they play like big band stuff, and I like their really late night shows where
Johnny
they
Magnus.
they
Johnny
play more
Magnus,
interesting
yeah.
stuff. I think
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
those times, basically.
Yeah,
Blues
that's
weekend, I can take or leave.
Oh god, nothing but the blues.
Yeah.
You know, nothing but the blues is cool for like a half hour.
That's
yeah,
your
because it's just
limit
the
of
same.
blues.
The doom 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 doom.
Yeah,
doom,
and
doom,
then eventually
doom,
it's
and then it's
just
just like you can only play 12 bars in a different way
You're telling
for
me.
so long.
You're telling me.
You're a piano player. You know this more than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you can do, throwing in 3/6s and stuff, and other fun things. But you know,
At a point,
at
it
a
just
certain
you
point,
can't.
you're only just playing blues. I don't know. I'd rather just play some jazz.
Exactly, some real jazz, like a standard chart or something.
You know, I just I've got like 4 real books, and you know each real book has like 400 tunes in it or
Mhm.
something, and those are great to take to a gig because you could just be meeting up with strangers and be like, go to this
Hey,
page.
you have a
You got
X.
the thing.
Yeah,
Next
you have a
edition.
thing.
Awesome. I don't know.
Just more variety
Yeah,
of songs.
Yeah.
rather than blues.
Right. Well, I'm trying to even think how many like different like I guess beats would that be the right term?
Beats.
Are represented in blues like for like a shuffle?
Oh,
or,
I mean,
Beats.
like,
What do you-
I don't
like
know.
overall
that was
feels
a very
like,
unacademic.
yeah, like they're like swinging blues and stuff, and then there's like the chunk, and then like there's like cool blues funk. You know,
I guess yeah. You can't go like
Yeah.
Latin with the blues or get like
People try.
Yeah, they definitely try it. It
Yeah.
doesn't usually end in a good way.
I don't dig it that
Um,
much.
Yeah, so
Latin blues.
I know there's cool blues, which is like usually slower.
kind of
Like
the same thing as smooth jazz. Cool blues.
Not necessarily.
Slow blues too.
Yeah, it's just the same thing as like 90 beats per minute,
Yeah.
12 bar B flat blues, only like in 70.
Oh.
That's all it is. Like that's all the difference is. Like, hey, you want to hear any music genre? Just turn the metronome down.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I gotta say, my favorite blues band is probably the Blues Brothers Band, because it was like the Saturday Night Live guys.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, like Paul Schaefer was the musical director, and
Oh, really?
yeah, and they had
Wait, Paul Schaefer that also plays.
yeah,
Oh, weird.
yeah, the one Paul Schaefer, and they had some real hip players. Tom Scott was playing saxophone with them.
Tom Scott?
Who was the
Tom Scott from
Yeah.
he's in the
Who played guitar in the Saturday Night Live band?
I don't know who played guitar, but in the Blues Brothers Band it was Steve Cropper and this guy named Matt Murphy.
Okay.
They're both. I mean, I don't know. Duck Dunn he played in Motown Records and he played Stax Records. Dude, Stax Records is like some of the realest shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what that. And then it also had like two comedians as the frontmen.
Right.
And you don't have to be a good singer to sing blues.
Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
you don't.
Blues Brothers Band is like
Yeah.
the best. Is the best blues band.
I mean, like, what about Cream? That Cream?
Okay, Cream's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like B.B. King's band.
Or like
something.
Janis Joplin, Big
Yeah.
Brother of the Holding Company.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff is it's blues, but they mix it up.
Yeah.
think.
Blues rock.
Have you
Yeah,
guys
they-
heard of the Blues Highway here at 22 West?
No.
No.
What is the
Yeah,
Blues
so
Highway?
you guys remember during the break, Pat
I think
Graham?
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, Pat Graham, coolest dude ever. Basically, he hosts a 2-hour block, I think twice a week, where he just plays straight blues.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's just like we exist. Like there are people
Yeah.
that like blues. We got to stick together because like there's not a lot of us out there in the
Yeah.
real world. We got to defend ourselves.
I gotta say, if I'm playing blues, I can play blues for like an unlimited amount of time. But like,
It's definitely
just
fun to play.
listening.
Yeah.
I don't know how long I can go listening.
Yeah,
But like, go to blues jams. You know, I'll play at a blues jam at a bar or something for like 6 hours. Sure, I'm having a good time. You know, take a
Yeah.
break, have someone else play the piano, and then go do something else and come back. That's
Go
great.
at it again.
But just listen.
Just listening, that's the tough part.
Do you? I want to ask you this. Do you like performing live?
Yeah.
Like, what is your opinion on it? This is your first time performing live at the House of Blues?
This is our first time playing at the House of Blues. This band, right?
No, we played that room twice before.
I've never done that. This is my first time playing at the House
And
of Blues.
I played a couple times at the other two House of Blues.
He's done
Where
it-
are the other two?
Well, the old one, because they moved it.
In downtown Disney?
Yeah,
Okay.
the one at
it's not
downtown
there
Disney
anymore,
and the
yeah.
one on L.A. that I think is closed now too.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's
On
closed.
Sunset?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, they're like redoing it.
Oh, they're redoing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make sense to have one in LA and.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
But
that
playing-
would make,
yeah.
yeah.
but the House of Blues venues are super cool to play at.
Yeah, they're
Because a lot of
awesome.
time as a smaller band, you go and you play a show, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you show up like, and then bring your stuff to this back door like 10 minutes before you play, and it's just like the sound guy and like the door guy, but all the House of Blues shows are always like, they have like a crew of paid
Yeah,
guys
really
that are
pro
there,
staff and
like
stuff.
with like dollies and stuff, and they like get you set
So they
up
actually
and-
have their stuff together. It's not like just
they got it
get on
together
stage
good, yeah.
and just go.
Right.
Okay,
Well, it's
yeah,
just a
I'm glad.
It's a professional,
A very professional, venue,
environment, which is fun to play in every once in a while.
Yeah. Playing it. I mean,
Well, that's
playing
good,
dive bars
yeah.
is cool too. But
Yeah, totally.
But sometimes it's nice to have like good sound on the stage, right?
Yeah, I played at a bar one time. Actually, I played at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Hell
That's-
yeah, I've
yeah.
played there a
Awesome.
couple times.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's.
Where do you play?
It passes.
Down in Long Beach?
Yeah.
I
Where's-
played one time.
Oh, I've never been.
The
Is it
Seabird
when you
Jazz
walk
Lounge.
in, you
The
go
Seabird.
and
yeah,
go
you
yeah.
go
Right.
return right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
They got a
played-
piano there.
they do.
I love
I
it.
played there one time, and I don't know why I haven't gone there again.
Hell yeah.
Do they have like an open jam?
You
or
do
is
have
it-
to sign up ahead of time,
Mhm.
but if they don't really have any people, you pretty much just go in there.
Right. Walk up.
walk
Is it a
up.
jam? They got a jam there.
When I went, they did.
I know they have a Latin jam night. I think.
Yeah, I think that's on like Saturday or Sunday night or something like
It was
that.
Friday. Like
It's
that's a wild
one of
night
those
to-
days. One of those days that ends in Y.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of them. Yeah, I can't. I'm not too hip to Latin music. Like playing it, I kind of suck at it.
If you
It's
give me,
hard.
if you give me a
Yeah.
chart, I'll play it.
I can do like a
But-
Montuno thing, but I still suck.
if you told me to like, okay, this song has a Latin groove to it, improvise.
Oh, sure.
Like, I am gonna fail.
I can
Well, and the piano playing especially is such a distinct style.
I can Latin jazz my way through things, but none of it's going to be correct. Like if a guy there who actually plays Latin music and he watches me, it's like, oh, that he's going to know how bad I suck. But like I can trick people.
I remember my college director, Jeff Elwood, brilliant teacher. He was basically telling us like the history of jazz and all that stuff, and he was telling us that Latin is the new wave. Like Latin is what's gonna like take over.
I think
like
so.
the next era of jazz.
Yeah.
And I told him if it is, then I'm never playing trumpet ever again for the rest of my life because
you gotta play high.
I gotta play high, which I do
Right.
not like doing already, which I'm not good at doing, and that's it. Like, that's all I had to say.
Who's your favorite trumpet player?
Winston Marsalis.
All right, that's
Winston
pretty cool,
Marsalis. Yeah, Winston Marsalis by far.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's actually good because there's some Wayne trumpet players that their only reason they're famous because they could play high.
I love Cat Anderson though.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. I'm talking
He's, like,
about
the best.
people like Maynard Ferguson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they just.
I mean, okay, anyone who was in a big band in the '80s where they all wore polo shirts, I don't trust them. You know, that's not hashtag not my big band. You know,
Like yeah, Maynard, for example, like he I kind of grew up on Maynard. Like he was other than Miles Davis, one of the first trumpet players that like I listened to. Because he played stuff everyone knew. Like he played like the Rocky theme.
Yeah.
He played
yeah.
like the theme to Shaft, which I thought was the most badass
Yeah.
song. As
Yeah.
like a black kid in the 7th grade listening to a guy playing double G's over the Shaft theme.
Yeah.
Like that was
That's
the
pretty- it's
coolest
pretty cool.
shit to me. But then
That's
as
part
I
of the
got-
reason why he got famous. Is just it's impressive.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
face value.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
then
don't
I
have
got
to know anything about music.
Then I got older, and I'm just like, yeah, it's not really mature. It was good for the 70s, because that's what that was the 70s was about. But once I started getting the people like listening to Jazz Lincoln Center Orchestra,
Yeah, Lincoln Center, man.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
listening to Winston or Winton,
Winton.
not Winston, Winton.
Yeah, they play all the essentially Ellington charts and stuff.
Yeah.
So we played all those in high school, and that's why I'm such a big fucking Ellington head. Is because the essentially Ellington charts, for people who don't know, are literally like the charts of the. That's what they played on the recordings of the original recordings of of these records. It's such a good way to like get in touch with the music, you know, playing it exactly how it was. Like, have you ever? Like sometimes you'll just get like a terrible version of like In a Sentimental Mood or something.
Yeah.
With like a there's a specific one I'm thinking of with like a big old rock and roll ending to it. Like
and just
this.
different changes that you
Exactly.
don't like.
No, like it's like they'll put in like you know how they write what kind of tune it is, like medium swing.
Oh.
At the end it'll be like power ballad. Fuck off, man.
That's not a word. That's not a word.
I gotta give a shout out to one of my trumpet instructors in high school, Cal Martinez, because yeah, we played like obscure charts that like it passed, like it was whatever. But Cal Martinez, who was like the student teacher of our jazz band in high school, this one day was like, "We're gonna stop this for a minute." We played a lot of Gordon Goodwin.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, before this point, I think I talked to you about this.
Yeah, who didn't play Gordon Goodwin?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
was
is what
whatever.
it is.
It was
It is,
whatever.
man.
We all had to do it. Yeah. So I remember he was like, you know what? We're going to chill in the Gordon Goodwin. We're going to play some Count Basie.
Ah,
We're going to play some Count Basie.
Bring it out.
And he bought the score to one of my favorite Basie tracks, Corner Pocket.
yeah, man.
And then like before he did that, he passed out the music,
That's like $60.
and then out of his own pocket too.
That's nice.
Yeah, and
cheapers.
then we listened to the solos of the. I played trumpet, and I was one of the soloists. And when we listened to the recording, it was the live recording of Corner Pocket. And if you ever heard that one,
yeah,
Thad Jones just plays like 30-second notes
Oh, geez.
solo, like all in the changes, and like that's unheard of in the world of like trumpet playing, especially in a big band count bassy track. Like that's unheard of.
It's some stuff, man. You talking about the Live at the Sands, that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good record. What a great record.
Man.
Ignorant
Count Basie.
swing. You know?
Like
seriously.
Like
Let's go
that's
listen to it.
like I've always wanted to go to like a concert like back then. Like I've always wanted to see like people like moshing the Count Basie,
Right,
like
right.
like in the mosh pit, just like like just.
Well, they go. Those
hurting
shows would
each
go
other.
long too.
Yeah, they'd play for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And you're totally
you paid
fine
for
with
it,
it.
damn it.
Yeah.
Alright, so unfortunately we're at the end of our time here today.
All good things.
So before we go, would you guys like to give in your last few comments, your little socials, to get people to see you?
Buy this.
Yeah, check it out. Hooray For Our Side.
Yeah.
The album is called Everybody Love Everybody. It's up on all the streaming sites.
Yeah.
And then we
Spotify,
have like
Apple Music.
Yeah, and then we have a Facebook and a Bandcamp and a
Instagram.
Twitter.
HoorayMusic.com. HOORAY music.com. That's But I mean, even if you can't buy it, just listen to it because it's cool.
Yeah, give us those streaming cents.
Yeah.
Right. Great. So thank you guys all for tuning into this episode of Talking with Spencer. I'm glad to have you guys with me today.
Hell
and
yeah,
I will
man.
see you guys all very, very soon.
Awesome.